So here I am, living in Spain for the last 11 years. And the question is, what's it like to live in Spain? What's it like for an Englishman, a foreigner, to live in Spain? Is it good? Is it bad? Have I had good experiences primarily, or have I had bad experiences primarily? Well, I'll tell you all about it. A continuación. So I think what's important to say right at the beginning is that I've been coming to Spain for 22 years. Never in that entire time have I felt that people were upset that I was English and being here in Spain. Now the thing is, I live in an urbanization with around about, 300 people, not even that, 200 people probably. That's linked to a village that has around about, 100 people living there all year round. So I can't speak for what life is living in a big city here in Spain. I know certainly it wouldn't be something I'd want to do. But I've lived in big cities all over the world and I didn't necessarily like them. Certainly at this point in my life, I like quiet, tranquility, un poco de paz is what I like. And so I don't know what the life is if you live in a big city in Spain. I don't know what the life is if you live on the coast where it's all tourists and it's a very different life. My guess is that it's not something that I would particularly like. I like being in the center of Spain. I like being in Spain, not in a fabricated place that's made for tourists. And so what I would say about living in Spain is that Spaniards are extremely generous. They're extremely open to you and they are extremely welcoming. They're very generous people with the time, with their conversation. They're very open. Could you come to Spain and have problems? For sure. Could you find somebody who just doesn't like foreigners? For sure. But in the 11 years that I've lived here, that isn't my experience. The only difference is that you've got to be respectful. You've got to be a good person. You know, nice people are nice and they're liked. And horrible people are horrible and they're not liked. And what I find is that when you're in Spain, and when I say in Spain, I'm just talking about en el interior, you just have to come in, 10, 20 miles inwards, inland, and you'll find Spain. And if you go into any bar in Spain, you're going to see very, very similar things. If you go into any restaurant in Spain, you're going to see very similar things. Although each area has its own cultures, the bar culture here in Spain is standard. The food culture here in Spain is pretty much standard. It's like food is number one. Food is very important. And of course, I come from a culture where food in the UK, food's lovely. We love food. We've got to eat it. Otherwise, we wouldn't survive. But we don't go on about it all the time. And so that was something that I had to come to terms with when I came here. That conversation about food is going to happen with frequency. And so if you come here and you're respectful and you just join in, it's a question of getting into the culture and being part of the culture. That doesn't mean you've got to be in the bar every single night of your life, but it's just doing what the Spanish people do. When in Rome, do what the Romans do. That's the secret of integrating into any country. I was just in a bar the other night watching the English football team lose, and a man had brought to the bar from his pueblo some kind of pork meat. And he was talking about it with great pride. He was talking about it saying, es un manjar, es un manjar. And he made me, and I don't eat on a night time, but he made me have a piece because he said, you've got to have it. And I ate it. And I thought, I'm going to eat it because he's so happy that he's brought it and so nice to bring it to the bar, just to give it to everyone in the bar. And it was beautiful. If you want to come to Spain just to get warm weather and eat fish and chips and have a curry, well, you're probably better off going to the coast, Benidorm. Everything's there. But if you want to come to Spain and actually live the culture, truly, come inland and Go to a pueblo. The houses are really cheap in pueblos. Get yourself into a pueblo and live with the people and start to understand the real Spanish culture. It's beautiful. But just remember one thing. It's very beautiful now. We're in July, hottest month of the year. It's scorching. But in January, it's bloody freezing. And so unless you go to the south of Spain, if you come into the centre, expect it not to be sunny all year round. Don't come in January in your flip-flops because you're going to die of cold. Así que, en resumen, si quieres venir a vivir en España, hazlo, porque es la cosa más bonita que puedes hacer en la vida, la verdad, y te va a cambiar la vida, para siempre. Hasta luego chicos, adiós.